learned a lot today. So I'm just to adding off on your comments and your feedback that you've given with regards to the performance of the health sector. So again, like we have, of course, one of the things is, or one of the issues that we normally face is the lack of institutionalized and coordinated efforts. And we've generally had a more reactionary stance than as opposed to a precautionary one. So even when the epidemic or the pandemics, if they strike, they're sort of one kind of disaster, but we have other disasters that take place as well. For example, we had floods come up last year, which were also quite unfortunate for us as well. But and you have these systems which are set up, like IDSR is now being implemented, as you mentioned, in 48 districts. But again, we do somehow, the conversations that we do end up having are of multiple different authorities working in silos or in isolation. And that conversation is still very frequent. So I'm just confused, or I just want to see how, how difficult it is to actually to get everybody together and kind of bring in that coordinated effort when a disaster actually strikes, and how do you see that actually happening successfully in future? So if you can just shed light on that, that would be really great.
Yes, very well pointed out, Michelle. That is, there is no denying the fact that all the relevant stakeholders are not on one table when it comes to decision making. Even I would add to that, to your comment, that so far, health decision making and the health has been revolving either among the few government departments of the health or certain partners. That's it. I mean, and, it has to be broad based, like academia should be part of that, even civil society should be part of that. Like the some of its a glimpse of it we saw in COVID-19, that we took on board, we tried to take on board almost each and every stakeholder, which was really required. But point is that in our country, there is a concept all across the world which is known as health for all and all for health concept, which says that health should serve to all, and all should actually strive together in an integrated fashion for health. I give you an example of that. For example, Pakistan is an agricultural country, we all know. If you want to, for example, if you want to install a factory of manufacturing factory of any kind in Pakistan, you are free to go. You can buy an agricultural land. You can just erect a factory over there. No one will you stop you. This is not the case in developed world. They will ask you, the land you are utilizing for installing a factory, is that an agricultural land? Yes, it is. If it is agricultural land, then what will happen to the agriculture? Are you not compromising on the food security of the country at the cost of installing a factory? Why don't you install a factory at such an area which is less productive in terms of agriculture? That's the question they ask. So this is the policy they have ingrained in their system to cater to health and nutrition and everything. Similarly, they will ask you before installing, if you install a factory, what will be the compliance of the environmental standard which they'll be following and all that. So point to tell you is that taking a decision involves the health related policies since the very beginning in those countries. The reason law and legislation is very strong, very pro health, and very pertinent to that. Unfortunately, we do not have that at the moment. So again, everything starts with legislation. I think, and again, I mentioned that in 19 technical areas, legislation was number one technical area which need to be addressed. So again, thing is that legislation need to cover all the health related component, number one. And number two, legislation should also be there to make it mandatory that a broad-based consultation involving all the relevant stakeholders should be there. Without that, the dream of achieving health for all will never be achieved. That's my point is.